Hello everybody, forgive me while I adjust the camera. Welcome to another live stream on Amber's Place. Tonight I will be reading a horoscope for May for the star sign of Capricorn. I'll be using the Messenger Oracles card deck and the Dreams of Gaia Tarot. Forgive me if I don't take part in chat, because in order to do this I need to concentrate. Okay. Let's see which oracle card comes up for Capricorn. What is that one? Wash away your burdens. On the tarot, I'll be intending to draw 4 cards, one for roughly each week of the month. However, there may be more or less cards drawn depending on the guidance from higher self. The first thing I would do is twist the card deck to make sure their orientation is random. I did get feedback on my previous video that the sound wasn't great. I hope it's better this evening. However, I have ordered a dedicated webcam, which should arrive in the next few days. So hopefully next time the quality will be much improved. Card number 1. Card number 2. Sometimes it takes a while for the cards to reveal themselves. Must be patient. Card 3. So the overall energy for the month is indicated by the Oracle card, which is wash away your burdens. As you have moved through life, you have undoubtedly experienced moments that have inspired feelings of regret, remorse, shame, and guilt. You have made promises you have not been able to keep. You have judged and blamed yourself and others. You have burdened yourself with feelings born of acts that cannot be undone, which still bind you to the past. It is time to forgive. It is time to lie down in the healing waters and let them wash away your burdens so you can move forward with spirit cleansed. So this indicates that this month is all about forgiving yourself for the things that you might be blaming yourself for in the past. So week 1 has brought the card out emotion and intellect. Keywords: emotion and intellect, love, fear, expression, suppression, head, heart, ease and disease. Key phrases: influence of emotional disharmony. Both love and fear motivate. Is fear the more dominant force? Unvoiced emotions must be expressed. Address unhealthy imbalances. Suppressed emotion creates disease. Seek a productive means of emotional release. Be proactive and mindful of your emotions. So this is a balancing and realignment card. It addresses any emotional disharmony that may be influencing you and your environment. It represents the need for you to see the whole and how an imbalance can affect it. Love and fear. How many times have you heard someone say that a choice or action was made from a place of fear, or was born of a person's insecurities and doubts, or was born of love? When we are attacked by others, we may react and retaliate because we are angry and afraid. But we may also act because we have love for ourselves and wish to address an injustice and prevent further injustice. We may choose not to take risks because we are afraid of unknown futures. But we also may choose not to take risks because we do not wish to alter our lives, because we love the life we already have. Sometimes we are plagued with doubts, but we can also be blinded by love. So what motivates our actions the most, fear or love? The truth is that both motivate our actions, usually in equal measure. They can even appear to be the same, depending on the person's perspectives. This card indicates that this is a time that you are advised to perceive that you are motivated by both forces at the same time, that both are required for healthy choices. However, sometimes imbalances can occur if fear or love becomes dominant to the other. This card is all about addressing the subject of suppression and expression. Suppressed emotion can lead to illness. Emotional stress can manifest in the form of depression, anxiety, high blood pressure, inflammation in the body, and in turn disease. There can be real and life-threatening consequences to suppressing fear, anger, sorrow, and other weightier emotions. Life is not meant to be lived on an even keel. Life will always offer up moments that will have us shouting for joy, or conversely suffering in silence. But if you express instead of suppress, you will move through life with more ease, as opposed to living a life of disease and suffering. It is better to be proactive and mindful when it comes to your emotions. Never ignore them. So in summary, that card is all about understanding one's emotions, understanding why you may have behaved the way you behaved in the past, so that you can forgive yourself and absolve yourself of guilt and shame, or any negative emotions that you may be criticizing yourself with. It's about using your intellect to perceive if there are any emotional disharmonies in your life that need addressing at this time. The second card is the Three of Fire. The keywords are action, implementation, exploration, expression, energy, hard work, sacrifice, and imitation. The key phrases are necessary sacrifice, experiment, practice, and refine. Avoid copying those who inspire. Step out into the great unknown and trust. Put your objectives first. Avoid cutting corners. Pay attention to details. Have you lost your direction? Do you have an idea or creative venture that you would like to implement? The Three of Fire represents the necessary sacrifice that may be required when we act on our goals and objectives. When we first begin to act, we often find ourselves exploring the paths walked by those who came before us, in order to discover and determine the best way to implement our ideas. However, that same exploration can inspire new ideas that break with tradition, because something old has been reimagined and expressed by a mind with a unique perspective to make it relevant in the present. To implement those new ideas requires sacrifice, commitment, and dedication. It means stepping away from what is tried and trusted, safe and secure, and stepping out into the unknown with an almost blind faith and commitment. It means putting the objective first and turning away from distractions, anything that might prevent it from being achieved. It means hard work, not cutting corners. What we create will only be equal to what we have invested, or what we are willing to invest. This card comes to tell you that this is a good time to explore and experiment on a practical level. Refine your skills and abilities using your hands and mind, so that what you create and do will always be something crafted to the best of your abilities, so that what you create will be a true reflection of your passion and dedication. It reminds you to avoid copying others' ideas. This is a time to be innovative. Use your experience and imagination to inspire you instead of the vision and ideas of others. The third card is the Sage. The keywords: sharing, communication, knowledge, information, culture, tradition, advice and manipulation. The key phrases: be the storyteller, communicate your thoughts and feelings, know your audience, devote time to research and investigation, learn the traditions and customs of others, know your ancestors and heritage, sage advice both given and received. There is no good time to give unsolicited advice. Question your traditional reactions and responses. Do not speak so much that you forget to listen. Be wary of the smooth talker. Do not embellish the truth. The sage in his glory is an enthralling character. He is the sagacious older man, one who is entertaining, expressive, knowledgeable, informative, and just a little mystical and wizard-like. He is a perceptive man, a storyteller at heart, who can read and move his audience with skill and ease. He's a little bit of a magician and a master communicator, and this card represents the sharing of knowledge and communication. This card represents the love of knowledge, the love of understanding the how and why of everything, the love of developing one's knowledge to the highest level achievable. The energy of a sage is one of philosophy, an orator who enjoys being a centre of attention. This card indicates deep thought, a time to withdraw from the world, to spend time on research and investigation, not for learning's sake, but because of a driving need to understand. This knowledge brings clarity and enables one to be discerning. In summary, this card represents the importance of learning and cherishing the knowledge, for example, of your family line and the history of your people. If you do not understand, ask. If you do not know, learn. If you do know, share. Celebrate the role of the sage and offer your knowledge. Tell your stories for no other reason except that knowing where we come from and what we have endured improves us and enables us to live a mindful, aware life that creates a better future for all. This card also represents living in a manner that you know will make your grandchildren and their grandchildren look back with pride. The last card is knowledge reversed. So this is a warning. The keywords: knowledge, skills, understanding, training, education and practical experience. The key phrases: we exist to learn as we learn to exist. Knowledge is power. Has your past education served you? Do not limit your potential for learning. A time of new study and learning. An opportunity to learn about people and the world. Surround yourself with books and information. Does bias and unfounded prejudice close you to new knowledge? Improve upon the knowledge that you have. Where is your knowledge taking you? Does what you are learning now serve a practical purpose? Create a better future by continuing your studies. The knowledge card, reversed, represents learning gone awry. It represents imposed knowledge, not knowledge that is factual or accurate. It is a type of knowledge that indoctrinates. It is knowledge that does not empower, but instead subjugates and imprisons. This knowledge is founded in religion, culture, and traditions that no longer have a place in our modern world. Are you impeding your own development by blindly following what you've been told to believe? Look to what you have been taught by others and question it. There are traditions that honour and traditions that dishonour. There is knowledge that impedes and restricts, and knowledge that sets you free and empowers. The knowledge card reversed represents the necessity of learning the difference and having the courage to defy tradition and relegate old paradigms to the past. So in summary, to tie all this together, the month of May for Capricorns will involve a month of self-reflection and self-learning. It is a month that may require some Capricorns to begin examining themselves, examining the emotional burdens that they carry, or that something will transpire which will bring to light feelings of guilt or shame or remorse. The advice of this reading is to accept these emotions, but do the necessary self-reflection to understand that actions that were motivated by both fear and love may not be wrong, but if the emotions that inspired an action were in disharmony, then this is something that you may need to come to understand. That disharmony of emotion can cause actions that harm you and others. This understanding is not so that you can further feel shame or guilt or remorse, but that you can forgive yourself, because only by understanding the reasons of our past actions can we prevent the same thing occurring again. There is learning involved in this month. This may be something that's practical. It may involve reading literature or books, searching for information online. The reason for this is because Capricorns are advised that this month is the month where you need to begin learning more about how our emotions affect us and dictate our behaviour. It may involve learning about traditions and history, not only of society itself, but of your family. How has your past affected your emotional responses? Have events that have occurred to you in the past affected you to the point where you have ingrained traditional emotional responses to events in the present? In order to understand how to overcome such issues, it may require learning. There is also a cautionary note in this learning process. There is much knowledge that is out there that is dictated by societal perspectives that may not be factually correct or even accurate. However, learning about these helps us to be discerning in the future and is a necessary part of a learning process. This reading could also indicate a time of learning for a new job, a new course. Perhaps there's a new venture in your life that you are looking to do. If that's the case, it advises you to put a new spin on it, to not simply copy what others have done before, to be innovative at this time. This would require looking and researching about how others have done the same thing before. Overall, this month is about education and knowledge. It's about educating yourself. My feeling is this reading is about self-development. However, for some Capricorns, it may be on a more practical level. Whatever is going to happen this month, whatever you are working on, it will require some self-development, some understanding of self. In order to be successful in whatever venture you are venturing onto, this will require a deeper understanding of how your past traditions or personally does affect you in the present. This will require separation of intellect and emotion. There's nothing else that's coming through. So I'm going to end this reading there. And I hope this is helpful to all Capricorns this month. I will be back shortly with another live stream where I will be doing a reading for Aquarius for May. Thank you very much for coming. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Please check out the channels in my featured channels list. And thank you very much for all the viewers, Michelle, West, Boom Boom, and of course Michelle's Opinions, whose channel is in my featured list. Thank you.